All right, it might help if I actually, I don't know, um, unmuted myself. That might help. Hello guys. How are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, hello, my darlings. I see Mick and I see Audie Fawn. Don't know how to pronounce that. But hey guys, how y'all doing? I probably not gonna be too long of a stream tonight. It is Halloween, and people got spooky stuff to do. So, but I wanted to do this because I really wanted to show these, and I really wanted to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to only read 2 stories. I will be lame if I want to. Damn it, it's my party. I'll be lame if I want to. So I'm probably only gonna read 2 stories, and then we'll, in between those 2 stories, we'll watch my little compilations that I made. I just went on TikTok, search haunted TikToks. Now this isn't a spooky one, but it starts out not spooky, but then it starts getting really spooky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read 2 stories I have. One of them is the Creepypasta Survival Guide. So if you ever find no, I'm not actually wearing a costume right now, but when I worked this morning, I did wear my Five Nights at Freddy's night guard outfit. So, and I had, hey, Miss Mud Duck. Hopefully there won't be a lot of bad fucking language, but you know how I am. So yeah, we're gonna be watching some compilations that I threw together. I've already had these up on my channel for a couple of days, so you probably already seen them. But we're gonna be spacing them out with me reading creepypasta, at least one between each compilation. I've got 3 videos with the compilations, and so that's something I'm just wanting to do. So we're gonna get this started with the first compilation, which it starts out not creepy. It's actually got this little cute animation for Happy Halloween, but then it starts getting creepy after that. So let's get this party started, because at least the Creepypasta Survival Guide is going to be a long one. So there we go.
I was filming this house for my roommate because we are moving soon. The house seemed fine, but there was no mention of a basement.
My apologies to the headphone wearers. That thing was loud. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how loud it was going to be. Hey, Mama T. Happy Spooky Day. All right. I'm sorry to my headphone users. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud, but I did see it dip into the red. So there we go.
When I walked through at first, there was no issue. But when I recorded the basement, I filmed something I cannot explain.
And the dogs are freaking out again. Well, we got this fucking thing fixed because you knew what happened there. There was a fucking hole in the fucking ceiling that we had to get fucking patched. That was fucking fun. And it looks pretty brand new now. And you're serious. Why every time when I'm home alone? You've got to be fucking kidding. Right? Are you fucking kidding me? And that door was 100% open. What the fuck? Bro. What?
For fifth time I had watched the video, I noticed something in the corner of the room, which is actually my daughter's room. So I screenshotted it and I just zoomed in on it. My heart just dropped. I could feel my face, all the blood in my face ran. I mean, it scared me.
Shit. Oh my god. No. Come on, yeah, we should go. Stay behind me. Oh, fuck.
Can you hear the crying in the background? As well as the banging? Ooh, buddy.
Shit! No. Come with me. Stick right behind me.
You can tell those some white people right there. Walking right into the danger.
Do you hear that? Look. Shit. Oh, you smell that?
Oh, it smells like burnt eggs and dog farts.
Did that kid just say it smelled like burnt pickles and dog farts? I swear to God, that's what I heard.
I'm scared, man. It's cold in here now.
Alright, so that's going to be the second video. But for now, we're going to hop on over to the Creepypasta Wiki. And turn my music back on. Turn it down just a little bit. Turn the music back on. Because now it's time for me to read the Creepypasta Survival Guide. So, if you've ever wanted to know how to survive a creepypasta, if you ever find yourself in that situation, this is going to tell you exactly how to do that. And it's going to be a long one. So go get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready. We're going to dive right into this thing head first. So let's go. Alright, so this is the Creepypasta Survival Guide. She's got a lovely cover right here, too. See? That's how you know it's legit. Oh, nope. 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 It went backwards. Sorry. There we go. All right, so let's get this started. Oh yeah, and just in case you guys want to actually read it on your own at some point, there you go. There's the link to it. All right, so the Creepypasta Survival Guide. We've all been there. You have just gone to a certain place at a certain time on a certain date, done a special thing, and the thing you suspected would happen has just fucking happened. Not to mention the fact that you've just seen whatever the fuck it is that lives in your mirror, been told in detail how you're going to die, and the highly demonic and invincible thing you just summoned is heading towards you. Also, your family's all dead, your friends are all missing, and you're being framed by someone with access to your bedroom. What the fuck do you do now, sweet protagonist? Well, sorry, I've got a throat lozenge in my throat. I'm gonna spit that out. Well, you've come to the right place to find out. These are the simple rules one must follow in order to, firstly, not become the victim of a creepypasta, and furthermore, to come out kicking if the worst does happen. With the help of this guide, you too can be merely a catatonic, traumatized wreck, as opposed to the guy currently being worn as a coat by some dude who roams a lot. Just keep these simple rules in mind. 1. Mirrors and darkness don't mix. 2. Actually, mirrors are a general no in the creepypasta world. There is nothing that is more sinister. 3. There is zero chance of survival if you look at the thing that no one else can see, or answer its question incorrectly. 4. If you're alone at night in a creepy mental institution, take some time to consider what the fuck you're doing there. Then, if it's appropriate to do so, leave. Avoid going to places where everyone else who went there never came back or died inexplicably. 6. If someone stops your vehicle at night and asks to come with you, it would probably be in your best interest to politely decline. Make sure it's politely. You don't want to insult them. Hey, errands! We're just getting started on the Creepypasta Survival Guide, so you're just in time. 7. Killing is the last method of survival. Use it sparingly, but without fear. Who was phone is always a... Let's see, number 8. Who was phone is always a good thing to ponder. Also, who the hell answers a phone while having sex with a dead person's sexy daughter? A creepy rapist, that's who. 9. Get a simple .38 revolver, loaded with 2 silver bullets. If you really feel there's no chance to come alive out of a situation, take one shot at whatever it is that is threatening you. If this doesn't work, you have the last shot to become a hero with. 10. Area 51 is simply too well guarded to let you get in, or to let any alien out. 11. When going to a hotel, try to steer clear of unauthorized areas. If you couldn't resist, but you saw a red thing, take some time to consider the price range and hotel standard on your next visit. Have you ever stayed at a haunted Hilton? No. 12. When booking your hotel stay, TripAdvisor can be an invaluable tool in deeming whether your choice is the scene of a multiple murder full of dead people or built at the mouth of hell. Local newspapers can also be very helpful. 13. Invoking demons, speaking weird languages, and performing rituals of any kind is considered dangerous. Please refrain from doing that, especially around abandoned warehouses, churches, psychiatric institutions, the woods, and your house in front of a mirror at night. 14. When going to a new area, environmental understanding is the key to survival. Ask around for cursed places, legends, dangers, and other details. Listen to local people's advice, and don't be afraid to ask if you're unsure which attacks or disappearances are paranormal and which aren't. Hi, Blondie. How you doing? 15. Always have a Bible next to your bed. Provides average reading material, proof of beliefs, and a really heavy and effective object to throw at enemies. Them things are fucking heavy. 16. Don't count on holy water. Sorry. 16. Don't count on holy water. Get a sturdy vial of sulfuric acid and let a priest consecrate it. There you go. Never summon anything that's bigger than your head. There you go. That's a good rule of thumb to follow. 17. Japanese priests cleanse rooms by waving katana swords around. Their ritual is 100% effective on corporeal forms. 18. If you find 666 messages on your phone, mailbox, email, etc., consider changing the said service provider. Also, don't bother listening to or reading the messages. It's spam. Extra dimensional, possibly, but, spam nonetheless. 19. Old pharmaceutical companies can't help you unless you specifically need blood of the innocent, snake oil, and radioactive syrup, which is never. 20. If you sign it in blood, you do not need to sign it. All mainstream governing bodies will accept contracts signed in ink. Bear this in mind if the offered deals that seem I gotta learn that English. Bear this in mind if offered deals that seem too good to be true. 21. Lighthouses are dangerous. Avoid them at all costs. If you work at a lighthouse, consider a career in insurance sales or veterinary care. Have you ever read Three Skeleton Key? Oh, Miss Mudog, stay to Haunted Hotel. How you do it? That's it. How you do it. 22. There is simply no reason to listen to music that causes suicidal tendencies. 23. Or watch films that have had strange or disastrous consequences. 24. If you like to plan ahead and have some money, buy your auntie and uncle a house in Bel Air. Nothing can harm you there, no matter how scared your mother is. Yes, we're having a party in the chat, y'all. 25. Secret, secluded, untouched places in old buildings are left untouched for a reason. Pioneers never say die, but in fact they do have a unusually high mortality rate. 26. Before you start swimming in the ice-cold waters of a murky lake at the center of a dark forest at midnight, ask yourself, do you really want to travel to an ancient and terrifying city? If the answer is no, then stay at home instead and watch whatever quality programming is available on Cinemax, which means boobs. Yes, boobs. Boobs are always better than... Hey, Tango Bliss. Yes, boobs are always better than horror. There we go. 27. On your 33rd birthday, try celebrating in a well-lit house with the company of others. 29. Watching TV static for long periods may be hazardous to your health. Try satellite TV or Freeview to combat this problem. Netflix and internet streaming are also effective. Don't worry, I'm not watching the chat either. You guys can go nuts. I got Aaron in there. He'll keep you guys in line. 30. Get a cat. Those furry little hairballs seem to perceive a natural phenomenon better than us. And if desperate, simply throw it at whatever is about to get you. 31. Safety in numbers. If you're getting a bit too freaked out, grab a few friends, any and all firearms, and avoid the area in question. 32. Cemeteries are bad places, especially in foggy conditions and on Halloween. So who wants to go to a cemetery? Perfect night. 33. Try not to close your eyes. Ever. If you must do so only briefly. If something has moved from its original location in the time it has taken you to blink, it is recommended that you do not blink again until you have dealt with said object. Fire is presumably the best method. When in doubt, choose arson. 34. If you ever find an unmarked tape which contains the file extension .avi, even if it's your favorite kids show, do not, under any circumstances, watch that tape. Now, if the extension is .mts, that is a different matter altogether. 35. If you hear chanting, run until you're out of earshot. 36. If you are too old to play with dolls, you do not need to be anywhere near one of those creepy little fuckers. Well, that doesn't say much about me because I have a lot of plushies at my house because I am a 40-year-old lady who likes to have plushies. Let's see. 37. Legends can offer valuable insight of where not to go camping with friends. Well, joke's on you because I neither go camping nor have friends. So there we go. 38. When babysitting, ascertain the family's tastes and preferences to avoid being killed by a poorly selected statue. 39. Even if you are certain that running will not save you, it is always best to try. I'm too fat for running, so I'm just going to let whatever is chasing me just go ahead and get me. 40. If you go to buy a used video game, whether it's at a game shop or a garage sale, never ever buy one with a weird looking cartridge. This includes strange colors and ripped off labels with titles written in marker. The latter tends to happen more often than not. For the daring, don't just buy said game to become famous. Your chances of becoming an internet celebrity because of it can only work if you know how to program. You should also be highly suspicious of games priced too cheaply and bootlegs. 41. If you decide to buy the used game anyway, rip that son of a bitch out of your console the moment it starts acting funny and take a hammer to it. 42. If you ever see a strangely new-looking doorway with a strange face on it, on a building you swore you didn't see at first, and the building happens to be an old chateau, don't fucking open it. 43. It's probably best to refrain from looking up on Google the phrases "huskies with grins." You'll just end up having to spread the word. 44. Never allow someone to take a picture of you with an outdated camera. If it's too late, your only bet is to gamble with death. Or just trap them in a photo. That works too. 45. Don't play with dolls if they come with a needle or a defect, especially a defect. 46. Burn Ouija boards, but make sure to have one of those car fresheners handy. The real reason why spirits get pissed off is because that foul aroma that it produces when burned. What was that? What are you asking? What about Aaron? I might be able to help. I know a little bit about creepypastas. 47. Never confront animated puppets physically. Subdue them with spells or they'll come back with minions or in a real physical body. 48. If you find yourself unable to escape, dancing may ward off the entity. Doing the hokey pokey is known to ward off curious monsters, but you might have to do the moonwalk to deal with zombies. 49. If you're checking your computer for viruses and you go too deep into System 32, refrain from clicking on any .avi files. If you do not heed this warning, creepy videos are on you, dude. Yes, it's a good list to follow. 50. If you see old tapes containing the words happy or appy, pretend you never saw them. Just go on with your life. It'll end up invoking some whacked out, coked up director of an old children's show, and you'll wind up having to pull some thanks for the ride shit to kill him. Oh, shut up, phone. I wasn't talking to you anyway. 51. If you buy a used camcorder and find the previous owner left one of their tapes inside, refrain from watching that tape no matter how tempting it may be. 52. Be careful when buying an old secondhand TV. 53. If you see a guy with both an incredibly large smile and black and white eyes, extricate yourself from the premises post-haste. 54. Don't go to a friend's house to bake cupcakes if they have random spurts of insanity. 55. Phone companies with low coverage are best avoided. 56. .exe files with strange names are not safe. Do not open them. Or you'll wind up with Sonic. 57. For the love of Neptune, turn off your fucking faucet when you're done with it. 58. If you are told to not look behind you, it's better to do so. unless you're against the wall. 59. Also, do not listen to anybody who tells you to go to sleep. It's best to run away. 60. If you see a tall man with tentacles, run. 61. Don't enter strange websites. 62. Don't enter strange places. 63. Not even strange videos. 64. If a woman who covers her mouth and asks you if she's beautiful, tell her she's average. It will prevent her from slicing your mouth. 65. No good can ever come from owning a shiny Pokemon. 66. If you're an intern at a cartoon studio and you happen to be reviewing a new episode, make sure that episode is safe for work before viewing that shit. 67. Don't be so excited when asking to look behind you, but don't take forever. There's no reason to keep certain death waiting. 68. Weird shit in Europe won't hurt you in the United States. Leave that to Creeps, Scarecrow, and the Creepy Dark. 69. Weird shit in the United States won't hurt you in Europe. Damn. 70. Should you break Rule 54, there's always a chance of rescue. And to review, 54 is, don't go to a friend's house to bake cupcakes if they have random spurts of insanity. 71. If your brother is tired of noise, or if your close friend has a brother like that, refrain from going into his basement unless you want to be tortured, raped, and killed. Especially raped. 72. If you buy a memory card and it has saved data on it, delete all save files. 73. If you get a drawing of Sonic on a disc, and the only file on that disc is a .exe for a file called Sonic, don't play it. Destroy it, or a demonic being that looks like a Sonic plushie might kill you. If he chooses not to, he will scar you for life. Or turn you into Tom. 74. If you see what appears to be a 12-year-old kid with black shorts, a gray, bloody shirt, red shades, dark gray skin, and a manic grin, do not, under any circumstances, piss him off. Unless you're Werepine or Brave. 75. Neighbors may have a darker side. If they do things that seem off for them, just act normal. 76. In addition to Rule 77, if you hear foreign voices from your body, that means you've been body jacked. 77. If you're an adult and notice that you are being stalked by a guy with a black suit, long arms, and no face, reach for the nearest child and throw him or her at him and then run like hell. 78. If you are a child in the same situation, run like hell before said adult uses you to satisfy the aforementioned being's craving hunger. If you do not manage to escape before the adult snags you, try bargaining with Slender Man that the adult has more delicious flesh. 79. Slenderman, said monster described in the last two tips, feeds on paranoia. If you remember Slenderman only wants a hug, he won't go after you. But if Slenderman does stalk you, run, man. 80. If all else fails, give Slenderman $20, and he should leave you alone. 81. If you see someone crawling around, it's more likely to be something, and you don't want more information about it. 82. If you are a police officer, state trooper, FBI agent, or any person of authority, and you have 2 days left until retirement, if you happen to notice anything suspicious or dangerous to health, get the fuck out of there immediately. 83. If you're being chased by any creepypasta and feel that you are 100% out of options, attempt to run to wherever Stephen King is doing his next book signing. Your killer will be far too interested in trying to get an autograph to remember what they were doing there in the first place. If Stephen King is not in your general area at the time, R.L. Stine is always available. 84. If you are a creepypasta reader and feel like things are getting a little too real, take a break. 85. If you find a magic stick that lets you draw living creatures, don't draw yourself. You may be surprised how pissed off your creations can get at you. 86. If you wake up in the middle of the woods after having fallen asleep, listening to your own heartbeat, take notice that someone probably put you there, but don't call the police. Publish a book of it and get a movie deal. 87. If you're being offered an orange by a demon, either don't take it or follow the steps from Rule 89. 88. On the third day of the third month of every 33rd year, seal up all openings to your house unless you want to be eaten by an evil mist. 89. If you notice that you're being stalked by a screaming child in a skull mask, don't always assume the kid's evil. Just be sure to save the bunch of crunch should you have any. There's a lot of these rules. A lot of rules to remember if you want to survive a creepypasta. 90. When reminiscing about your favorite kids show on a message board, take a moment to consider if the episode where all the characters screamed their lungs out was real or not. Also take a moment to consider if the entire show was real or not. If anybody's wondering, that's about Candle Cove. 91. When looking through mysterious blood-soaked pictures left in your mailbox, check to make sure you locked your doors and windows. 92. Remember, snowmans have feelings too. Gotta remember that, guys. Even being as a Floridian, I have to remember snowmen have feelings too. 93. Stitches is naked. Covering him with a towel will cause him to die. Do so. 94. If your friends disturbingly edit tapes, it's probably a good idea to never see him again. 95. If you keep finding broken glass in your home, check to see if the shards match the colors of the glass object that was broken. If they don't, run. Hi, Auntie. How you doing, darling? We're just reading some rules to survive a creepypasta. We're currently on Rule 96. If Jeff the Killer shows up in your bedroom unarmed and invites you to follow him to his home, for God's sake, don't do it. 97. And to make an even 100, should you notice that your friend has suddenly developed a personality that's a mix between Heath Ledger's Joker and Beetlejuice, he or she is most likely inhabited. It would be best to keep clear of this person until they return to their normal, boring as fuck personality. 98. If you encounter a small creature that looks like a mutant four-armed baby with Jeff the Killer's face, do not listen to it, even if it offers you gold. 99. If you are still using Windows XP and you use it every day with internet, sticking with it is a pretty stupid decision. End of support means more doors opening for viruses, and even more doors opening for crazy shit. 100. Stay far, far away from abandoned amusement parks. 101. If your son starts talking about some sort of doll from any game, do not play the fucking game. Take this gaming system and play baseball with it. That's always a good thing to do. 102. If you do play the game and later you hear any tapping at any place in your home, yell to your child to lock their door and jump from a window. It is wise to then light the house on fire and then jump from the window with your spouse. 103. Be atheist or convert to any religion that isn't monotheism. So when the monster says, "I am God," or an insane man says, "God abandoned us," you will chuckle, since it's an overused cliche, instead of getting scared by your broken faith. Church always fails to save you from creepypasta, and the Bible is only as good as any other heavy object to throw. So there is no real benefit anyway. 104. Always think twice before doing something stupid or doing something you might regret. That could be for just about anything, not just a creepypasta. 105. If you come across a pro wrestling DVD you haven't heard of, it was likely never released for a reason. 106. If you are browsing the internet and a colorful pop-up that says, "You win, you lose, or you die" appears, just don't click on it. Just don't. 107. If a magic 8-ball gives you anything but yes, no, or maybe, destroy it. 108. Do not go to any halfway house or mental institution you can get yourself into in any city in any country, unless your name happens to be Legion. 109. If you do end up in any halfway house or mental institution you can get yourself into, Do not talk to the receptionist at the front desk. Instead, read a magazine, pamphlet, or any source of reading material on one of the tables in the waiting area, unless your name is Legion. If you do talk to said receptionist at the front desk of the halfway house or mental institution, do not ask for anyone whose name starts with the holder of, unless your name is Legion. 111. Do not collect all 538 objects. There's a reason why they must never come together. Again, unless your name is Legion. 112. If you find a bag with dozens of tapes inside it, just fucking leave it alone. It might be some kid you punched in the face a while ago and is now out to kill everyone. 113. There are some parts of YouTube you should not be in. I often try to find myself to the weird side of YouTube. That's fun. Let's see. 114. Don't kill anyone because you made a page on a website and an admin or someone deleted it. Just don't. You should probably go read a book or something. Or touch grass. I hear touching grass is great. 115. If you buy used wireless headphones off the internet, rip those bitches off your head as soon as you hear static and or voices. But I like my voices. They're nice to me. 116. If you attempt to bypass a level in an extremely hard typing game, you might find yourself trying to kidnap children whilst wearing a chef hat. Hey, carnivorous ape. We're just reading some creepypasta. Well, we'll be reading a creepypasta in a little bit. Right now I'm reading how to avoid getting killed by a creepypasta. So there we go. Let's see. And 117. For some reason, these things are all weird anyway. In addition to Rule 117, there was probably a reason why the level was so damn hard. 118. If you go camping in the woods and find a cabin, you should probably leave it alone. You've watched the movies. 119. Everyone's scared of something. If you're not scared of anything, well, then you're just a liar. 120. When playing Minecraft, do not set the render distance to tiny. 121. If you do set your render distance to tiny and you can see a mob that looks like Steve in the distance, set the render distance to full. 122. If said mob is still sighted, delete the game. 123. If said mob, known as Herobrine, is in every game, delete Minecraft. 124. If you are in your bedroom at night and you wake to see a feeble-looking gray humanoid at the end of your bed, do not hesitate in throwing your covers over it and try to punch it to death. Maybe put that Bible that was mentioned earlier to good use. Just 125. If previously mentioned creature escapes one's grasp, it will stalk you and maul you. So sighted again, run. 126. Monsters still bleed. If forced to fight one, don't think that all hope is lost. 127. Better safe than sorry. If you do kill whatever it is that attacked you, don't think that you're safe yet. Shoot or stab them in every vital organ you can think and sever limbs. Burning the corpse and or putting it through a meat grinder helps too. 128. If a banshee is screaming the living if a banshee is screaming the living shit out of you, then that's the only sign that you're going to die a slow, painful death. 129. If you have a Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon card that has a very ominous force, either creates death or magic that you never imagined, either burn the card or cut it to pieces with scissors. Abandoning it, example, taking it to the trash, will simply be making you its next victim. 130. Demonic or spiritual forces can enter any object or person with ease, and can be kept out of the object by letting a priest or a group of priests do an exorcism, as long as you or any members of your family aren't the cause of it. 131. Seek a fortune teller if you happen to have a spiritual experience that would affect your future. 132. Rap Rat is not a song artist. In fact, just stay away from anything that concerns him. 133. Slender Man does not always kill out of hunger or boredom. If he's stalking you, ask yourself if your death would benefit humanity. If it will, then just throw in the towel because he's coming. Don't believe me? Go ask all those Nazi soldiers found impaled on trees. 134. Hide and seek is an evil game. I should know. I never win. 135. Before you consider those horrible figments of your deranged imagination your friends, take a good look at their faces. If they have yellow eyes or are impossibly disformed, take as many pills as your local psychiatrist is willing to give. 136. If you suspect that an immortal, armless monster wants to put a foot through your stomach, run. 137. If your walls bleed phrases that make no sense, try reading them backwards. 138. If your walls start bleeding in the first place, it's probably best to burn the house down. 139. If that one wall is miraculously unburned, follow the same advice and run. 40. Get in shape. The only thing that you can do to evade a majority of creepypastas is to run. Gotta get that cardio in. 141. If you're paraplegic, make like Happy Wheels and fashion some rockets. 142. If any kind of man or beast appears in your room in the middle of the night, then it's best to stab it, and stab it, and stab it. 143. If you have no other weapons, put that Bible I told you to keep next to your bed to good use. 144. The creepypastas that become famous can't be forced. They just happen. If you're deliberately putting yourself in danger against powerful, extremely bloodthirsty beings so that you can write a non-profit story to put up on a wiki page, it may be time to accept that you are a complete fucking asshat. Follow these simple rules and little, or massive, harm may befall you. Either way, the important thing is to make sure that your tale is told, copied, and pasted repeatedly. Forever yours, Management. Alright guys, and now we have just learned how to survive a creepypasta. How do you guys feel? Do you feel safer now? Like I said, I will post this again in the chats. And if you guys want to go take a look at it, then go ahead. Go take a look at it. It's absolutely fun. I love reading these damn things. They're so much fun. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break to let my voice settle down a little bit, and we're going to watch another haunted TikTok compilation. This one is only about 6 minutes long, so I'll see you in 6 minutes.
Awake. Wake up. Wake up. It's time. Prepare. We must all leave Earth.
Alexa, repeat.
You don't have any notifications.
Alexa, repeat last comment.
You don't have any notifications.
Non-stop.
If you want me now, man, take me. I'm leaving. Tired of this shit. It's my room. Let's have it out, man. I'm leaving. Just let me get my shit and go. What the fuck? Hold on. Goddamn camera. Fuck this, I don't have enough light. Fuck, oh my God.
Say hello, Daddy. Nina, say hello, Daddy. What the hell?
All right, now we're back. So we are going to go and find. Let's see. Let's read this one. Discord. I gotta turn my music back on again. There we go. All right, now we have the spoopy music. So let's go with this one. Discord. Chat room X. And as usual, I will put the link to it in the chat so you guys can go read it at your own free will. So this is Discord, Chat Room X. It was early in September. Me and a group of friends were chatting on Discord and having a good time. We usually talked about upcoming games that we're going to be releasing. But on this particular day, on this specific Discord chat, was when things got unexpectedly dark. Chris, 86, typing. Dude, did you hear about this new AAA coming out this month? B. Rye. I don't know, man. Probably not. Scott Pilgrim. Hey, Chris, did you hear about the party that Callie was throwing tonight? Chris, 86. No. Pretty much everyone, and I replied, pretty much everyone in our school hates me. Everyone started laughing, even though I wasn't really joking. When we went back to our homes, all of us got on Discord to play more games with each other. We didn't have much else to do. Moments passed. My friends and I were still on Discord chat, posting random stuff. Unexpectedly, my computer made a weird pop up sound. I minimized the window because your computers just make that weird pop up sound. Everyone knows what that weird pop up sound is. I minimized the window and noticed a flash drive installed on my desktop. I checked the back of my computer, but I couldn't find a flash drive anywhere. I was starting to get nervous. Hey, I asked everyone, did you guys also get a jump drive in your computer? Stardust. I didn't get anything. Brian, Scott, and Jenny replied with a similar response. Soon enough, my curiosity outweighed my fear, and I opened the flash drive. From there, I saw one text file that was named README. Brian started to show concern over my sudden nervousness. B-Rye. Hey, man. You alright? Excuse me, sorry. I ate dinner before I did this. Bad move. I had no response, though. I just slowly opened the text file, which read, Please share this for the good of mankind. Right below there was a link. At first I thought it had to be some kind of joke that they were pulling on me. Chris86. What the hell is this supposed to be? Screenshotting the drive and sending it to chat. Scott Pilgrim. What? Why the hell would we know? Chris86. You guys sent this crap to me, didn't you? When I pressed the enter, there appeared a black screen with white glitchy lines. I thought the site was broken and hovered my mouse to the close button. Right as I did, there was a loud screeching sound that startled me. Scott, Brian, Sydney, and Jenny were all concerned and asked what was going on. Immediately after, everyone's screen went black as if there was some kind of power outage. Each of us went on our phones and communicated via message. B-Rye. Whoa, what the hell's going on? Scott Pilgrim. Did everybody's monitor go black? Sydney and Jenny both replied yes. I was very hesitant to try and turn on my computer. Chris86. Everybody open up Discord on your phones. They all agreed and started to open up the app. All of a sudden, a pop-up notification was given to us. All of us opened the notification because that's what you want to do, guys. Whenever you on the computer or on your phone and you notice a strange pop-up notification, you always want to make sure you click on that sumbitch. You never know, you might be missing out on a big deal. All of us opened the notification and came across an unknown user. The unknown user was typing to us. Welcome. I have a list of instructions that each of you must follow. Failure to follow my instructions will result in a horrifying conclusion. Everyone panics, and all of a sudden the game crashes for everyone, and all the screens go black for a minute. And that is when the online entity appears. The entity self-types all of the players' real names and addresses, and the players start to get shocked. That's when the user starts to surf the web for child porn and fake murder plots and starts saving them onto their hard drives. Blackmails the other users in the chat. I'm starting to think this is not actually belong on the creepypasta page, but here we go. Chris86. Everybody calm down. Let's try to figure a way out of this. Scott Pilgrim. Dude, I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to freak out. Unknown user. I will assign the first task to one of you. If you fail to complete the task, the consequences will be fatal. What, will you start looking up furry porn? I mean, you already looked up some pretty gruesome shit. I mean, heck, I know one girl, she's an author, and she's probably had some pretty weird shit on her Google search. See, this is why you always use Tor, everybody. No search history. All of a sudden, a pop-up window was shown on everyone's screens. The window had a virtual spinner with individual sections that had everyone's name on it. The unknown user took control over Chris's mouse and hovered over the middle of the spinner and clicked the middle of the spinner. It's repeating a lot of phrases here. Chris, Brian, Scott, Jenny, and Sydney were all on the edge of their seats watching the spinner, hoping that it doesn't land on their names. The spinner stops on Brian's name. The unknown user pulled another pop-up menu on a profile picture of Brian, with the text at the bottom saying, "Congratulations, Brian. Congratulations, Brian. You have been selected to fulfill one of the tasks we assigned to you." Brian lashes out, frightened and scared for his life. "B-Rye, I hate this. This is all your fault, Chris. None of this shit would have happened if we never did what you told us to." Chris 86. "You think I wanted all of this to happen? This fucking thing was threatening me to send stuff to you guys. What the hell was I supposed to... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think that's how it worked, but whatever. Hey, AW. Happy Halloween. The unknown user tells Brian to go outside and rob a gas station while going live on Discord, recording his actions. After the unknown user is finished giving Brian his task, he then pulls up another pop-up window with a 10-minute timer. The unknown user hovered Brian's mouse over the start button, and the timer began to run. B-Rye, "One of you guys call the cops. Call the cops right now." Scott quickly grabs his phone and tries to dial 911. The virus immediately cuts off all communication through all of their electronic devices. I know that kids these days don't really know about this, but there's this weird thing. It's called a landline. Yeah, it's actually connected to like a physical line that's on your wall usually. Most people don't have them, but I mean, your parents just might be square enough that they do have one. Scott Pilgrim, "It's ringing!" B-Rye, "Oh, thank God." After a few rings, Scott's phone leaves a voice message. I'm sorry, the number you have dialed is not a working number. Please try calling again." Scott Pilgrim, "What?" 30 seconds passed and everyone was panicking. Unknown user. They're keeping track on their watches, just how long they're panicking. Each one of them has a watch, and they're keeping time on just how long they're panicking. Unknown user. Time is ticking, and I've cut off all communication devices from trying to contact higher authorities. B-Rye, "Shit, Scott, you have to listen to me. Go public about this so that everyone knows what's going on." Yeah, okay. I know bad news travels fast, but that's a little bit too fast, dude. Brian noticed that the unknown user already had his Discord on live. Brian grabbed his phone and paced into his dad's room while he was sleeping to grab his gun and his keys on his desk. Yeah, don't wake up your dad. Don't wake up your dad and tell him what's going on. Instead, just grab his keys and his gun. Alright. Priorities. Brian rushed downstairs, out the back door, and hopped in his dad's car and turned on the ignition. Brian placed his phone in the cup holder with the camera facing his direction in a tilted upwards angle. A very, very, very unflattering angle on anybody. Brian placed the gun in his pocket. Boy, I hope he doesn't pull the trigger. He'll be very, very unhappy. The timer was at 8:30. Everyone in Brian's chat was watching. Chris, Scott, Sydney, and Jenny were all trying to talk to Brian on his live, but he was unable to hear them. Chris 86, "Dude, you're not actually going to do this, are you?" Scott Pilgrim, "Brian, don't do this, man. He's just trying to mess with us." As Brian was driving, he pulls into the destination that the unknown user sent to him. Brian finds a place to park and slams his head on the steering wheel in frustration. Brian looks over and notices his friends in the chat along with random users pressuring him to commit his actions. Brian grabs his phone, gets out of the car, and heads towards the gas station. Brian's friends were all silent and helplessly watching him. Brian goes in to rob the gas station. There is the cashier and another customer buying chips in the back. Brian slowly scans the R to try and see if there's any. Remember, kids, always spell check your creepypastas to see if there's anyone else in the gas station. Brian does not notice the man in the back, assuming the store was empty. Sydney starts to cry. She puts her head down, unwilling to witness what Brian has to do to stay alive. Well, the unknown user never said he was gonna murder you. He just downloaded a bunch of shit on your search tab history. Come on, man. Jenny, please don't do this, Brian. Brian casually walks up and pulls the gun out and points the gun at the cashier point blank. Let's just make this quick and easy, okay? Just go into your register and take out the money. The customer in the back sees this and then very sneaky like sees very sneakily sees that crowbar. Sees a crowbar leaning up against a case of soda next to the bathroom. Brian's friends, as well as his life, notices the customer in the background of Brian's screen. The chat was typing fast. Behind you! Look behind you! Chris, Scott, Jenny, and Sydney all see this too and start to freak out and warn Brian. Brian, look out! Turn around, dude! Look at your chat! The timer was running, and there are only 6 minutes remaining. The random customer strikes Brian with all his force. Brian blacks out and stumbles down while his phone dropped with the camera facing the ceiling. Blood was gushing out of the back of his head. And here we go. Let's start with the blood. The customer aids the cashier and asks her if she is okay. The customer notices Brian's phone on the ground and picks it up. Chris, Scott, Jenny, and Sydney start to cry, coming to the realization that this is not a game. The customer switches the camera view and shows the chat Brian's dead body. That's what you do. Little did the customer know that he wasn't sure if the player was alive or not. The customer told the cashier to call the cops and ended the live stream with the graphic image of Brian's corpse. The timer stops with the time remaining, which is 3 minutes 25 seconds. Brian's computer screen goes black, and his friends are all in shock, terrified what's to come. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this shit, man. Scott tries to communicate with Sydney by using Morse code they learned in class. Scott signals to Sydney by tapping his computer screen multiple times rapidly. Sydney, Chris, and Jenny glanced over at Scott's screen. They could tell he was trying to tell them something, but they didn't know what. Scott, the fuck are you doing, man? Scott continues to tap his screen in such a way which triggers a memory that Sydney had with Scott when they were learning Morse code together. Because when you're together with your friends, you all learn Morse code, man. You guys don't know Morse code? I learned it with all my friends. Chris and Jenny became silent when they saw Sydney collapse to the ground. Sydney, you okay? What happened? The unknown user was getting suspicious and tried to hack into Sydney's devices, seeing if she was still alive. Chris and Jenny are under the assumption that Sydney was surely done for. The unknown user fades Sydney's computer screen to black. Chris and Jenny start to cry. Scott opened up his Discord, pulled up the previous party chat messages, and screenshot them. The unknown user took control over Scott's mouse and brought the same pop-up window used for Brian. This time the timer was set for 5 minutes. Scott was angry and enraged, as if he was trying to provoke the user to take drastic measures. Fuck you, man! I hope you die! The unknown user hovered Scott's mouse on Discord and started typing in chat. The user began typing. Chris was trying to figure out what was going on. Jenny was silent, hopelessly watching her friends. She does not know what to think or say, still traumatized by the previous incidents that occurred. Scott, calm the fuck down, dude. What the hell are you doing? The unknown user's type red. He's type red, guys. He's not typing. He's type red. Unknown user. Hello, Scott. I'm sorry about your friend, as he failed to complete the task at hand. The user then pulled the screen recording of the incident of Brian's death for psychological distress. Scott started to tear up as well as Jenny. The user began typing. Your next task is going to be harder. 2 of your friends are already gone, and you might be next if you fail to complete the task at hand. Another pop-up menu appeared on Scott's screen, this time with a list of guidelines. What the hell? My mom is not home. She's somewhere else. That is a lie, Scott. The user turns on the laptop in Scott's Scott's mother's room and activates the webcam on her laptop. She could be seen sleeping in her bed. The live chat was activated and users were joining faster and faster each second. Wait a minute. This is still on Discord, right? It's not like he's doing this on like YouTube. You can't just join someone's live on Discord. Alright. Scott was puzzled and began reading off every item that the list had. The list read as follows. 1. Go to the kitchen. 2. Grab a large kitchen knife. 3. Walk into your mother's room. 4. Slit her throat. 5. Take a picture of her dead body. Your time begins now. The timer starts running. Chris and Jenny could not see the list. The user copied the timer pop-up window and put it on Jenny and Chris's screen, letting them know that Scott is next. Scott clenches his hair and starts to tear up. He starts kicking the wall, making a loud banging sound, showing his frustration getting bigger. The hole in his wall is also getting bigger. Chris kept trying to ask Scott about the situation. Hey, this thing wants me to kill my mom! What kind of sick, twisted shit is this? What the hell did we do to deserve this? Scott, please, don't do this! Jenny started to cry. Chris clenches his head with both of his hands in emotional distress. Scott takes his phone and goes live. The live chat started to fill up quickly. Everyone in the feed was taunting, typing the same phrase in chat. Do it! Yeah, like Nike, just do it. Scott went into the kitchen. He sees a knife in the counter with a note next to it. The note had the message, I'm outside your house. Scott turned his head and saw a person outside his backyard waving to him. Just the neighbor. You don't know. It could be the neighbor next door. Scott set his phone down next to the knife with the camera facing the ceiling. Scott dashed outside and noticed that it was Sydney. Thank God you're okay. I was kind of worried for a second. While I was running out of your house, I brought my mum's phone, so hopefully this thing can't track our communication. Listen, there's this app I need you to download. It tracks IP addresses and other internet protocols on the web. Hopefully we can use it on this thing and put a stop to this. I apologize for anybody who might have those accents. I do them terribly, for a purpose. Scott tells Sydney the name of the app, and she starts to download it. Scott's chat was filled with hate comments as he left his phone unattended. The unknown user suspects something is up and speeds up the time, giving Scott less time to commit his task. Chris and Jenny see this and try to warn Scott in chat. Sydney hides behind Scott's refrigerator. Scott goes back into the kitchen and picks up his phone and checks the timer. The timer is now 1:20. Scott acts fast as he picks up the knife and dashes upstairs with the camera facing in his point of view. Chris starts typing in chat. Scott, get out of there! Turn off your phone! Do something! Chris's message was not seen by all the other users typing in rapid succession. Scott goes into his mother's room, sees her sleeping. Scott slowly walks up to her and holds the knife up to her throat, with his phone camera showing the knife slightly grazing her skin. The timer is at 30-second mark, and the chat is going crazy. Chris and Jenny sat there watching helplessly, not knowing what to do. All of a sudden, Scott gets a text message from the phone that Sydney had, which read, as she was texting, I got the location! I know where this thing is! Scott immediately took action and turned his live stream off in his phone screen. From the perspective of the chat turned black. Scott dashes to his mother's laptop. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Scott dashes to his mother's laptop and closes it shut, not allowing the user or the chat to suspect what's going on. The timer is at 10 seconds and nothing could be seen. However, loud thumping noises could be heard coming from Scott's phone. The timer runs out and Scott's screen fades to black. Scott runs back into his room. All of the lights in his house shut off. Scott was scared for his life. He sets down the knife at his desk and tries to figure out ways to turn his computer back on. All of a sudden, loud and slow banging noises can be heard from downstairs. This catches Sydney's attention as she peeks her head out to see what's going on. She saw nothing and quickly popped her head back behind the fridge. The unknown user turns on Scott's computer and turns on his live Discord. Again, you can live stream, but it's only to particular servers. You can't just go on a general live stream. It's just not a thing with Discord. Alright. The user types in his chat the coordinates of his address, leaking all of his private information on social media. Scott screams at the top of his lungs. Chris sees this and tries to message Scott. One of the users in chat contacts the police and tells the cops that Scott killed his whole family. Chris can't get through to him. Jenny's silent as she has a blank expression on her face, as if she didn't know what to make of this. Moments later, the cops came to his house. 2 cop cars were seen outside of his house. Chris and Jenny could hear them, as well as all the users in the chat. The live chat was repeatedly typing, "Go outside." The police barge into Scott's front door with assault rifles armed and ready. The police dashed up the stairs. They could hear Scott yelling in his room. The live stream was going wild as a camera from Scott's computer displayed 2 cops aiming at Scott point blank. Scott turned around. "Wait!" One of the cops noticed the knife on his desk and opened fire. Guns can be heard going off multiple times. Blood was splattered all over his computer. The live chat typing, "Yes! Finally! Woohoo!" Blood was dripping on Scott's screen where bits of brain and skull were oozing down the monitor. Scott's mom woke up from the gunshots. She got up and rushed downstairs into Scott's room. The police prevented her from coming in. Sydney overheard everything that's going on. She quickly ran upstairs. Scott's mom and Sydney witnessed Scott's dead body in the chair. His face was unrecognizable. Blood running down his fatal wounds, dripping on the floor. His mom and Sydney were both in shock and sobbing. Sydney cries as she explains to the cops who's really behind all of this. Scott's mother. "My son! My only son is dead! Why did it have to come? Why me?" Sydney hugs the mother and tries to calm her. The mother never gets a name. Mother is unimportant here. Chris, as well as Jenny, start to cry and mourn for Scott and Brian. 3 officers were at the scene. One of the police take the mother to the station. Sydney gets in touch with Chris and Jenny to update them on the information she obtained earlier. One of the police officers talked to Sydney to try and hear more about the situation. "No, what exactly happened when you entered your friend's house, ma'am?" "Look, there's no time. You have to drive me to this location now. There's a person out there who killed 2 of my best friends, and if you don't go there now, this thing will kill my other friends." "Now, ma'am, how do you know all this to be true?" Sydney opens up one of the MP4 recordings she took on her phone with the visual evidence of the unknown user typing threats to Scott, blackmailing him to kill his mom. Both of the officers see the footage and are convinced about the situation at hand. Sydney shares the location of the user. "Okay, let's get a move on." Sydney gets in the patrol car with the 2 officers and starts heading to the location. Chris hears a buzz vibrating from his phone. He picks it up and sees a message from a random number. The message read, Guys, it's Sydney. I got this user's IP address. Just downloaded this app which can pinpoint the location, and hopefully we can put an end to all of this." Chris chats with Jenny in Discord. "Hey, did you get the message from Sydney about the location?" "Yeah, I thought it was someone else at first, until I saw Sydney's name in the message." The unknown user resets Scott's screen to black, only showing the remaining users in chat. The anonymous user creates a live stream chat with the remaining 2 users. The user inserts a poll in the chat, typing in a title at the top that reads, "Who do you want to see die first?" The live chat entered their ballots, and the numbers start rising. Chris and Jenny both see the poll numbers rising. Chris could hear a car pulling into his house. He looks over his window and sees Sydney in the police car. Chris goes to his phone and messages Jenny. "Jenny, Sydney is literally outside my house." Jenny hears a buzzing noise and looks down at her phone and opens up the message from Chris. Oh my god, are you serious? Tell her to hurry, I'm scared right now. The poll ends and the numbers are shown on the screen. Chris, 64. Jenny, 36. The police arrive at Chris's house. One of the cops says, well, this is the address right here. Sydney, there must be a mistake. This is my friend's house. Both the cops and Sydney could hear loud yelling from Chris's house. The cops go out of the patrol car and barged inside without hesitation. I guess my accents must be scaring people away. I've only got 3 viewers now. The unknown user sends the audio file to Chris's Discord chat and sets the volume to max level. The police rush upstairs while Sydney keeps urging them to stop. The cops hear this and dash upstairs to Chris's room. Chris can hear the loud footsteps coming from the hallway. Chris quickly gets out of his chair and tries to confront the cops. Excuse me, again. The cops overheard the loud noise emanating. That's part of the story. There you go. The cops overheard the loud noise emanating from his computer, and one of the cops shoots Chris multiple times, mistaking him for being the unknown user that Sydney was telling them about. Jenny sees this and sobs. Sydney pushes the cop that shot Chris to the side and kneels down only to see her best friend choking on his own blood on the floor. Sydney tries to aid him, but it was too late. Chris's monitor quickly turns off. Any evidence that was left was gone now. Unknown user types in Jenny's chat. Congratulations, you're the last that remains. There will be 2 strangers arriving at your destination. Time is a factor. You have less than 2 minutes. The anonymous user sets the timer on Jenny's screen to 1 minute 59 seconds. Jenny, without hesitation, tries to call the police on her phone. Moments later, a policeman picked up her call. Jenny immediately tells the policeman everything, only to be informed that there are already 2 cops dispatched on that case. All that Jenny could see in the chat was a toxic chat telling her to take her own life, making fun of her appearance and body shaming her. Oh no! Jenny stops crying. She goes downstairs into her kitchen and grabs a knife out of the drawers and comes back into her room. The timer is running, and there is only one message from an anonymous user. All of your friends are dead. Join them so you don't have to endure any more suffering. Smiley face. Jenny cries for the final time as she ends her own life by sliding her throat. Not slitting, sliding. She slid her throat. It probably went down a slide. So there you go. The chat was filled with positive comments as blood was oozing down the knife wound. Worth my time. I enjoyed this. Yay! Sydney was taken into custody for suspicion. Months later, Jenny's body was never found, and the whereabouts of the anonymous user are unknown to this day. Sydney is currently facing 2 life sentences for crimes she did not commit. No evidence could be found in the chat. The only thing that could be found was the title of the Discord chat, which was titled Chat Room X. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That actually turned out a lot worse than what I thought it was going to be. I will be glad to see this one actually go to the troll pasta where it actually belongs. But for now, we're going to go back over to this and watch our final compilation. So I will come back on and talk for a little bit after this compilation, but after this, it is going to be wrapping up pretty soon because I have a stuffed up nose for some reason, and it's Halloween, so you guys probably have better shit to do.
I really don't think I'm ever going to be able to escape this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that pedaling. Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here. It's my kitchen. Gotta steal their voices.
Alright, so this one has some text at the top. I'm going to read it to you. This is Reddit user Quimbo Slice 20 lives in a haunted home, and in the following 3 clips, he is woken up in the middle of the night and grabs his phone and records these 3 clips, each on a different night, and each gets more active.
Jesus Christ.
force, you learn to trust your gut, to trust yourself, and I was jeopardizing my safety.
Yo, I'ma catch this motherfucker in his act. Bro, watch, listen. Listen, bitch. Bitch, watch this shit. Look. Look, I'm gonna show you y'all some shit. Look, ain't nobody in this fucking room. Look, ain't nobody in this damn room. Nobody can hide, motherfucker. Now watch this bullshit. Watch. Yeah, hell no, motherfucker. Get the fuck out my house, bitch. That's what I fucking thought, you stupid ass, hoe ass, bitch ass, bold ass looking motherfucker. Creep can looking ass motherfucker. You look like you were born in an Egyptian movie looking ass motherfucker. Fuck about my house.
Oh. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Most
Jim.
terrifying demonic activity ever caught on camera.
Bobby, is that you? Bobby. I get it. I get it, man. Just gonna stare at each other for like, what? You got me. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. I'm gonna keep doing this shit. I'm just gonna stare at him then. Fuck it, right? What the fuck, man? Come on, get out, man. Get out. Come on. Go. Go. Come on, just go to your room. It's fine. All right. Yeah. I know, Disney. You got me. Jim, you got me. You got me, man. You got... Okay, it's good. And just stay in your room.
All right, yes, have a look at everything that I've been watching so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. Sorry, I'm just honestly not feeling too hot tonight. Plus, you know, it's Halloween. Everybody's got something better to do. But I hope you guys had a good time watching this. I hope anybody who watches this on replay has a good time listening to it. Listening to my dumbass read stupid creepypastas. And watching some compilations. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening. Don't get too scared. Don't eat candy from strange places. And always remember to follow the rules from the Creepypasta Survival Guide. And you too might just wind up being the next successful creepypasta. Guys, have a good night. Bye. Happy Halloween.